Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in One Shot Wednesdays. Today is June 5th, 2019, and you are loved. And because it is Pride Month, I also want to let all of our viewers know that I am proud of you. We are proud of you. All of the choices that you make to be the best person that you feel like you should be, I believe in you. You got this. Because you are making the right call for you, and that's what's important. Other important things to remember, we stream here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you are interested in joining in wherever you are watching this currently or listening to it, check us out at twitch.tv/indoor adventures. And you can help support us by checking us out at patreon.com. So you can go to patreon.com/indoor adventures, and you can get access to all sorts of stuff, including adventures that I write, the after show that we normally do. I also wanted to say that there was a new person from last night, but I'm having difficulty pulling up the person's name at the moment in my Gmail account. But while I am also looking for that, guys, did you know we have merch? We have so much good merch that I can't possibly wear enough of it because I have multiple shirts for every days of the week. At least I do now that I've ordered the new shirt, the Gwen Stompfoot and Kronk Goreblast Gymnasium tee that I'm very excited to be able to show off to you guys when it finally comes in the mail. But otherwise, we have the Real Dragons Were Your Friends That You Made Along the Way t-shirt. We got these mugs, 15 ounces for all of the liquid that you could possibly want to hold, at least up till 15 ounces worth. And we also have posters. So if you're interested in posters, mugs, t-shirts, sweatshirts, crop tops, tank tops, what have you, we've got your back. And if you don't see anything that you particularly like on the store, let me know if there is something that we can add for you, because I want to be able to support you guys in you guys supporting me. I think that it's a very nice symbiotic relationship, and I like merch. So with that in mind, we're going to go around. We are going to say who we're playing tonight, and then we are going to pass it off to you, Daddy, to allow you to introduce us into this game. So, Dan, who are you playing tonight? You're muted.
Muted. Want to make sure you weren't hearing my clicking and typing. I'm Dan, and I am playing Theo, a human shadow sorcerer.
Excellent. Jen, who are you playing tonight?
I'm playing Lady, and she is a cleric of Ioun.
Excellent. Danae, who are you playing?
I'm Danae, and I'm going to be playing Vivi, the human warlock.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I will be playing Skrid Dreghorn, Minotaur Fighter. And I looked it up, Ethan Sims. Thank you for being a new patron. Since yesterday, I said thanks to all of the newest patrons, but you managed to jump in there at the last bit. So thank you. And Daddy Warbucks, who are you going to be tonight?
I think I'm gonna be Daddy Warbucks. I was a little unsure, but I think it's a role that suits me. So I'm gonna be all the things.
Yeah. Yeah, take us away.
Yeah, let's get into it. All right. Our adventure today happens in the Moonsea region, which, if you're unfamiliar with, it's far to the east of Waterdeep. Well past the desert of Aravander, and there's a cropping of cities and villages all around. And at the start of our adventure, we are in the city of Flan. Flan is a medium-sized, city. It's built up on the Moonsea itself, so it's kind of like this big dock, this big dock and trade culture. Not nearly as large as, say, Neverwinter or Waterdeep, but it's fairly civilized because of the presence of the Black Fist Guards. And the Black Fist Guards are the active police force of Flan. They have a reputation for being a little bit heavy-handed in their work, and those that work with the Black Fist tend tend to garner a lot of respect. And you guys, at the start of our adventure, are in one of the local taverns, which is the Laughing Goblin. And the Laughing Goblin has earned its name because the Laughing Goblin has a 5 foot tall wooden sculpture of a goblin with its head thrown raucously back in laughter. And it is as you guys are in the goblin enjoying yourselves some ale and some of the finest cabbage stew that the tavern has to offer that someone comes through the door, and then a hush falls over the crowd, because the person standing in the doorway is a very tall person adorned in head to toe black plate armor.
Do we know if he's like a member of the local police force, or is this just
You
like
would. The black plate armor is like the calling card of the Black Fist Guards.
Okay, got it.
So as you guys kind of, the tavern falls quiet, everybody looks up, and without hesitation, this tall, imposing figure marches right up to your table. It's not entirely without, it's not entirely unexpected. The four of you are somewhat known within the region already, being vastly experienced adventurers and having already made some tales of expertise and wonderment. And as the Black Fist marches up to you, they remove their helmet, revealing an elder woman, maybe in her mid to late 50s, face crisscrossed with scars, and a long mane of silver hair pulled back in a tight ponytail. And she looks at all of you. She says, "I'm in need of some assistance. There's something that has come to my attention, and unfortunately, we don't have the resources to manage it ourselves."
Ah, you went silent.
I'm silent?
No, yeah, we heard. We don't have the resources to manage it ourselves, but
But I'm looking to outsource the labor.
so that means there will be some kind of reward at the end of all of this.
Of course. We obtain our funding from the local municipality. We would reward you from Flan's treasuries if you can investigate something for us. There is a village somewhat far from here, up the Stojanau River. It's called Cable's Hill. They send trades, goods, and supplies down to Flan, and that has been disrupted recently. Asking around town, there have been various rumors, tales of kidnappings, and other nefarious going-ons at Cable's Hill. And, of course, this is all unverified, but we do not have jurisdiction to send the Black Fist Guards away from Flan. But this is affecting the city, so you can see the conundrum that we currently are in.
Kidnappings. People are going missing.
That is what they say. But again, I have seen no evidence that says this could be true.
So it's nobody from the town who is getting kidnapped.
That is correct.
All right. I mean, kidnapping is bad. I think we can all agree kidnapping is bad.
Kidnapping is bad, yes.
Kidnapping is very bad, Scrid. Very good.
Unless we need information from somebody and they have somebody that we can easily kidnap to extort that information for. But I think this could be an opportunity for us.
Are you trying to justify kidnapping again, Scrid?
Well, okay, so you would kidnap 1 to maybe 5 times, and suddenly you're the group's kidnapper. No, I am saying that...
I'm not pointing fingers.
No one here is saying Scrid is a kidnapper. Don't be ridiculous. This net is for fishing. Now, I would like to say What I would like to say is, maybe we can earn some reward. Miss of the black plate mail lady. I've forgotten the name of your organization, even though I am here all the time. Now,
They're called the Black Fists.
Black Fist, thank you. Now, Black Fist, how is this affecting our town directly?
Well, like I said, the residents of Cable's Hill, they send certain trade goods to us. Livestock, food, lumber. And with the trades disrupted, it is hurting the local economy. The nobles then start to put pressure on the Black Fist to do something, but we simply do not have the authority to leave the town and do much of anything.
All right.
Which I need to hire someone
exactly
else.
Cable.
You kind of broke up there.
Who exactly is Cable?
Oh, I don't have the foggiest idea. I believe it's the founder of the small hamlet there. I don't believe there's anybody still by that name today.
Mm.
Well, if people are going missing, we should help.
I agree. This is a most just quest. He kind of
Yes.
like raises
Gentle
his arms up.
reminder, Skid. No kidnapping.
Look, we're not coming back here. It's not kidnapping if they don't come all the way back home with us.
Well, like I said, I have been authorized to go into the city's coffers to help fund your expedition to Cable's Hill. I would give you an option. We can pay for some stable to give you horses and other means so that you can reach Cable's Hill faster. But doing so will lessen the reward that you will get after the investigation is concluded. What would you prefer?
Do we get to keep the horses?
Oh, no. This would You would only be borrowing them. They would have to be returned.
No, I get more money at the end of it. That's my goal. That's my idea, anyways.
I think it's most important that we get there quickly, if people are in danger.
What about you, lady? What do you think?
Well, I would pose the question, do we have horses big enough for you and I, Skid? After all, we are quite large.
She kind of pauses for a moment. Maybe a few horses in a cart.
Excellent.
We keep the cart.
I don't know how to ride a horse.
Be a problem. I mean, it is coming out of your earnings after all.
Okay. But the cart is ours after all is said and done.
Does anybody know how to drive?
I do. I can speak to animals. It'll be great.
I have proficiency in land vehicles.
Even better. Well done, Skid.
I can sit in a cart.
I too can sit in a cart.
That's good. Vivi and I have a useful skill set.
Yeah. Team Human.
I'm proud of you both.
All right. So she kind of nods her head very decisively. And it appears it's settled. I will have word sent right away. Your cart should be prepared within the hour. Quickly grab anything that you may need from around town and then be on your way. I'd like to see this resolved as soon as possible.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And with a little flourish, she puts her helmet back on and goes and tromps out the door.
Should we go around and describe our characters?
Sure.
Yes. All right. Sounds like you volunteered to go first.
Okay, sure. Vivian is a young lady. She is pretty short. I'm gonna say 5 foot on the dot. She's got a black hair and a little bob, and doesn't seem to be carrying any weapons of any sort. However, she is wearing leather armor. She's fairly bottom heavy, and she is wearing a scarf, a long, long scarf that just sort of flows around and moves strangely. And she's got these big, huge, doughy eyes.
Yeah.
Think Betty Boop, I guess.
Okay.
Both like a really long scarf.
Yeah.
It just constantly billows out behind her
Yeah.
from a non-existent wind.
Yes, you got the Strider scarf going on then.
All right. I guess Theo, what does your character look like?
Theo looks very unwell. Kind of thin, pale, sunken eyes. Kind of a wan, almost like greenish tint to his skin. He looks like someone who has been. I mean, like if he wasn't moving, you'd be like, "Oh, is there just like a dead guy sitting here?" He keeps to pretty ragged clothes. He doesn't need many material items. He doesn't like put a lot of stock in his appearance. So, kind of lanky, dark hair, pale blue eyes, pale sickly skin, and dark tattery clothing. And he's got a little mouse that he like barely even notices, that just sort of crawls in and out of his clothes and sometimes nibbles his ear, and he doesn't seem to notice.
What's the mouse's name?
The mouse's name is Lil Mouse.
Oh.
I would die for this mouse.
Regardless of anything else that happens today, we have to make sure the mouse survives.
Lil Mouse.
What about Lady?
Lady is a very tall Goliath woman, bald hair, bald head, tattoos all over, bright white eyes, and very simple vestments on her. She's not very aggressive despite her very large demeanor. She's just, oh, that's nice. That's really good. And she often talks to Little Mouse in his language because she feels that Little Mouse deserves a voice in the party as well.
All right. And then what does Scrid look like?
Scrid he's 5'8", because he is a Ravnican Minotaur, so he's not like way huge like the regular Forgotten Realms variants. But he is a kind of lighter brown color, and he has these large white spots in his fur, or at least the fur parts that cover his body. He's wearing a chain shirt. He has a great sword across his back, as well as a little bit of there's like a half cape that he wears that doesn't go all the way, mostly because he has the bovine tail that just sort of swishes on its own. He has cloven feet, human-like hands, just a big bull man. He has horns that come around the side and point forward, and he has a septum piercing of a just large gold band that just hooks in.
What color is the bull part?
The bull part is a marbly brown, more leaning towards brown.
All right. So now with the party all together, right? And we know where we're going. We're not going to dwell too much on preparing to leave. We're just going to hand wave it all done. And then as you prepare to leave the Laughing Goblin, the cart is ready. It's got several horses already attached, bridled, and ready to go.
Very convenient.
Most excellent. Now, I have been drinking a little bit, but I still should be good to operate this cart. I mean, the animals mostly just do it themselves.
I will cast Speak with Animals to let them know where we're going. Let them know we should travel safely, good pace. Say we're all good people here. It's
They
fine.
just kind of stomp their hooves in what you hope to be is understanding.
All right. So yeah, I'll hop on the cart and I will pick up the reins for us to go once everybody gets in.
Vivi will ride in the back.
Yep, so will Theo.
I'll sit next to.
So is everybody in the back?
No, I'll sit next to Skid.
But if we're in the back, who's driving the car?
The horses got it. She talked to them, right? They know where it is.
Yeah.
I told her. Sure.
Yes.
All right. We'll say it's probably about midday when you were first approached by the Black Knight with no name, because she totally forgot to introduce herself. It's not important. As you ride your way to Cable's Hill, it only takes several hours as you follow the river up north, and you're able to make it shortly before sundown. And as you approach, you can see Cable's Hill from the distance. There's no real trees that kind of block your vision of the small hamlet. And you can see that it rests along a large, dense forest. You can see it's got a palisade that kind of runs along the perimeter of the settlement. And from your vantage point, you can see maybe a dozen buildings, if that. It's definitely not a very large place as you ride up through with the cart into the open gates. And as the cart enters Cable's Hill, the first thing that becomes apparent is the quiet. You, at first, don't see anybody on the streets. There's no one around. Not even a straggler or anyone on the outskirts of their property. It seems abandoned.
Maybe there's a festival going on, and we just simply are in the middle of it.
They didn't say anything about a festival.
This is true.
Wouldn't there be more people if there was a festival?
Maybe they're off in a different square.
Is this the right place?
I think so.
You were driving. Did you take a wrong turn?
No, I mean, we were told the exact location. It's a straight shot here. And, I mean, the horses also knew where we were going, so I don't think there's any possible way we could have gotten lost.
That's true. The horses would know.
The horses would know. They would not lead us astray.
As you guys are having this conversation, the horses are still just kind of plodding forward, and you're kind of moving your way through the tiny town along the main road. And as you move through, you can see that there's a docks far off to the western edge of town. There's a couple granaries standing near the back where there's some isolated farms away from the main settlement. And you eventually start to hear the low chatter from one of the furthest buildings away from you. It's probably one of the largest buildings in the settlement. And when you look at it, there's really no identifying marks other than hung above the door is a bucket, and the bucket has a hole in it. And that seems to be where this rumbling cacophony is coming from.
There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza.
There is a hole in the bucket.
That bucket's not very useful to anybody.
The rumbling is coming from the bucket?
From inside this building.
Oh, from inside the building. Okay. I
guess we should investigate.
I'm going to use my mage hand to reach out and grab that bucket. And what this looks like is Vivian's scarf kind of ripples to life and forms a little hand out of just the end of it. And it just shoots out and then picks that up.
Okay. As the mage hand grabs the bucket and tries to remove it from its post, you find resistance. It's been fastened to the top above the door.
Vivian looks confused, and she'll probably yank it a couple of times before realizing, oh. Why would anybody fasten a bucket to the door?
Is it some kind of, like, inns sometimes have signs or, like, things to designate, like, if maybe it's the Rusty Bucket Inn or something, you know?
Oh, that's a fun gimmick.
Is there
Do
any
you
kind
want the
of
bucket?
is there any kind of signage that says anything related to this bucket around here?
Unfortunately, not. It doesn't seem like there's much in the way of signs or labels anywhere within the small settlement so far.
Well, I know this bucket must be important.
This is why we're here.
You know, I will try and take that bucket for Vivian.
Okay. But whereas the mage hand wasn't quite strong enough, as the Goliath just kind of reaches up and grabs it, you see that she's able to rip the bucket from its post, and several nails clatter to the ground.
Here you go, Vivian. A bucket with a hole.
Oh, thank you, Alexandra.
Quite welcome.
She'll just lift it with her big scary scarf hand and put it in the cart.
As you guys are kind of still playing with the bucket, you hear above the rumbling, chatter from inside the inn, you hear an angry voice shout, "It's been over 10 days. What do you plan to do?" And then there's a dissent, several voices. "Yeah, what are you gonna do?"
Oh.
Um,
Sounds like we should get involved.
I agree. Just pull out great sword. All right, who's
I'll put
going
my
in?
hand on Scrid's shoulder.
Maybe not that involved.
Vivian's right, Scrid.
It's going to stay out though. It's not going to keep wearing it on my back where it is. And Scrid's
Alright.
Gonna go over and just. Is the door ajar at all? Or is
No,
it-
the door is currently shut.
All right. Definitely going to. I'll knock. I'll knock on this door.
As you knock, it's a big hollow rapping sound, and you hear an immediate hush. Just everything inside goes quiet. After a moment, a halfling man with disheveled hair comes and opens the door. He's pulling at his shirt nervously, and he's wringing it between his hands. Hi.
I'll say in halfling. Oh, hello. We are here to talk to you, I think.
Well, I don't see why not. Welcome to the Leaky Bucket. Would you like to come in?
Oh my God, Theo, you were totally right. It was a barn named after this
I'm
bucket.
amazing.
This is
I
incredible.
did a thing.
High five Theo with the scarf.
His hand
Well
is
done,
very
Theo.
cold.
So the halfling kind of pushes the door open as he invites you inside, and you can see there's really nowhere for you to go. The inn is completely filled with people. They're sitting along benches in the main area, at tables. The inn is just filled with people standing in this huge crowd inside. They all turn and they're kind of looking at you silently, almost as if they're wordlessly questioning, "What are you doing here?"
Oh no, I feel very uncomfortable.
Doing very well, Theo.
Put my sword back on my back to try and alleviate some of this pressure. We have come to help with the kidnappings.
You see that a halfling woman, at the mention of the kidnappings, she jumps up on one of the tables, and she turns and looks at a halfling man that brought you in, and she begins to shriek, "Hupe! Why would you bring them here?" And then she looks to you, Scrid. "We don't need your help. We've just been having some trouble. But Cable's Hill will deal with it on our own."
You said trouble and that you didn't need help, but if you are currently in trouble, that means that you do need help. We are just passing through of our own volition. This town is quiet. I want a drink. You all look scared.
It's nothing to worry yourself about. Just, why don't you come in and have an ale, and we will all go about our business, and you can be off in the morning,
And if I refuse, what if I like it here and start to live in this town? What if I become part of Cable's Hill, and then it suddenly becomes my problem? Why not just cut a few steps out of the way?
She seems to consider your words for a very long time before curtly saying, I don't like you. And then she walks away.
You are going to be a piss-poor neighbor, that is for sure.
I wonder if she likes begonias.
Who was she?
As
We live here
she
now.
kinda storms off, annoyed with you. Hoope, the more meeker halfling, kind of tugs at your belt, trying to get your attention.
I'll lean down so that way my bovine head is on level with his.
What is it, tough guy?
I'm sorry about Grinna. My wife can be a little overbearing sometimes.
She's fine. Just opinionated. And her opinions often, apparently, would involve not very highly of me. But that is okay.
It's not you. It has nothing to do with you. It's just Cable's Hill hasn't really had a lot of visitors, and we tend to stay to ourselves.
Well, we appreciate you inviting us in. And we can help you with your problems. I mean, Thea's very good with magic. Vivian's amazing with her scar. And Skrid is amazing with
Grinna
his
would be
weapon.
very upset with me. I don't think that I should say anything.
What if you wrote it down and you didn't say a word?
He just I don't think so. And you could tell, like, he's very ambivalent. Like, he wants to talk to you, but he feels like he shouldn't. Will somebody volunteer to roll a persuasion check?
I will roll his persuasion. I will try.
I'm sure this will go very well.
Oh, yes. That is a natural 20. First roll of the night.
All right. First roll.
Look,
I was gonna say that both the humans are charisma-based spellcasters, but we're both shy.
Look,
So
neighbor
he looks,
to neighbor.
and he starts to kind of ramble, right? And the details don't really make sense because they come all out of order and jumbled. But he begins and he says, well, you see, the problems with the town started about 6 months or so ago. There was a man, his name was Halvin Grangle, and he moved into an abandoned barn a few hours east of Cable's Hill. It wasn't too much of a problem because he kind of stayed away and to himself, but he was very, very odd. Everyone thought he was just an eccentric hermit, and he made a little bit of coin selling wood carvings to some of the people in town. And mostly we just let him be. But then, about a month ago, he suddenly stopped coming to town. He, being elderly and all, a few villagers were worried about him. So we went to pay him a visit to see if he was okay, but he had gone missing. His home still had all of his stuff in it, and there was a map inside of his home, and that's what really has got everybody upset.
So upsetting about a map.
Well, Cable's Hill sits on a very important tract of land. You see, we are on the furthest reaches of the Quivering Forest. And the Quivering Forest is known to be home to very many fey creatures. And they haven't allowed anyone to settle so close to the forest. And Cable's Hill was only given such permission on the tenant that none of us would ever disturb the forest. We were to enter under no circumstances. And this forest this map that we found in Halvin's possessions, it had a route into the forest mapped out. And so now everyone is afraid that he went into the forest and violated the truce that we have with the Fey folk.
Huh.
That's very not good.
No.
No.
And it gets worse.
No.
Yes, it does. You see, everyone was very concerned that the Fae, knowing we had violated said truce, would come and, well, steal all of our children and murder our livestock. And to
And they
try and
did?
make sure that the truce was not violated, we argued and we debated, and, well, we sent a rescue party to recover the old man,
Oh no.
hoping that we could remove him from the forest before he did something irreversible. That was 10 days ago.
Oh, I see.
20? 20 days ago?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's like a
Could it be
fortnight and a half.
possible, Mr. Halfling, that he was invited in, and that by going in yourselves, fell into a Fey trap?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I can't see any reason why someone would be invited into the forest. And almost as if, on cue, one of the other villagers, remember, it's very cramped. People are listening to your conversation. One of the other villagers, very scruffy guy, big gnarly beard, overalls, he shouts out, "'Twas probably them damn fairies that killed me cows. Damn their eyes and their wings. Crazy they are."
Oh no, some fairies killed your cows.
Mm-hmm.
These fairies sound dangerous.
And then Hupe speaks up. They are dangerous. Have you ever experienced a fairy, sir?
I can't say that I have, no.
Well, they're incredibly dangerous, mischievous, and malicious, but they're not even the worst. I think the worst of it would be Jenny Greenteeth.
Jenny Greenteeth?
And almost if I cue, a lot of them start, making religious symbols, and, they almost like shriek away from you as you say the name above a whisper.
Sounds
Oh,
like
dear.
vegetables.
Yeah, she is and he's quickly cut off, right? He begins to tell you more, but there's a scream that comes from one of the windows, and as everybody kind of turns their attention to see what all the commotion is about, you see all the villagers that have congregated inside the inn begin to surge through the door into the street.
All right, I am going to get swept away in this wave of halflings and other people.
I'm just sipping my tea. This is a nice place.
Theo will follow them. Theo wants to know what's going on.
Yeah, as you guys begin to fight with the crowd to try and get outside and see what the commotion is about, you hear another scream. They know what we did. And you see a young lady throws herself to the ground, clearly delirious and feverish. And when you walk outside or to the window and you finally get a vantage point of what's happening, what you see is there are roughly 24 or so people that were inside the inn that are now gathered around a central signpost. And hanging from the signpost is an adult human male. blood streaming from his eyes and mouth.
Oh dear. I'll go forward and kind of just pick him off the signpost, put him on the ground.
You could certainly do that. But as you approach, you start to get a closer look at the man here. You can see that his eyes have been put out, and in their place are two black polished stones. And sticking out from the center of his chest, it looks like a foot-long piece of bone that's been sharpened and driven through several sheets of parchment. And it's like they've stuck the parchment into his body. And the next thing, what is your passive perception?
14.
Good enough for me. As you get close and you see all these things, you can see that despite all the injuries and how grievous they are, the man is still alive.
Oh no. Shh, it's okay. As I just kind of just pat his head and think, it's okay. Hold on. As I cast a few, I would cast a healing word on him as I pulled the bone and parchment out. There. It's okay.
Well, I have a question. What are you doing first? Is it healing word and then remove the bone spear, or is it remove the spear and then healing word?
Healing word first, because I'm not sure how grievous the wounds are underneath. So,
let's say when you pick him up off of the post, you can see the other end of the spear coming out of the back.
Oh dear,
That's
that's quite bad. So I'll stabilize first, then yank the spear out.
Okay, so you yank out the spear. He starts bleeding profusely. You use your healing magic, and he stabilizes. And when he does, he regains consciousness. However, that's not nearly going to be as useful as you may have hoped, because the only thing he's capable of doing is just screaming. He just yells, although it doesn't seem like he is in pain, although he is, of course, in great pain. It's fear. He is absolutely terrified.
There, let it out. As I just stroke his hair.
So soothing. It'll be okay, guys.
It's okay. There.
I think he'll be okay. He's missing his eyes.
Oh yeah, I kind of hold his head and kind of pop the stones out. That's better.
Oh, gross!
As you pop the stones out, you can see there's a symbol carved into the stones. It looks like almost like an eyeball on the front, but then it's got a singular slash through the iris of each.
I'll just give these to Theo. You can have these.
Oh.
As you pass them along, one of the villagers standing near points and yells, "It's the symbol of Jenny Greenteeth!"
Oh my.
Oh. That's a valuable clue. Thank you.
I think I know who's responsible.
Theo's kind of pointing at the parchment, and he's like, "Vivi, you can read, right?"
Theoretically.
Cool.
Hold on, let's see what language it's in. And
It's in common. As you pick it up, it's in common. Several of the pages are ruined, being saturated in blood, but the one furthest on the top is still incredibly legible, and it says, "Cable's Hill honors the long-standing truce between the people of Flan and the people of the Quivering Forest. We seek only to retrieve a lost soul who does not fully understand what his trespasses signify. Please forgive our transgression."
Okay.
Oh, look, they give it back.
Who do you think these fairies are looking for? Oh, wait, no, this is a message from the people.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay. All right. Same page now. Oh,
I feel like this is a no.
I think if you want to get your people back, we're gonna have to go in there.
Yeah, what were we getting paid again?
She didn't tell us, and I'm
No,
quite
she didn't.
concerned about
You guys
that.
were just so generous that when she agreed to pay for the cart, you're like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
Whatever it is, I don't think it's nearly enough.
look. They said that there is an abandoned barn in the forest and the guy who owned it left. Clearly, there's free real estate here.
If we can just plant petunias in front of the barn, I think it'd be fine.
It's free real
Do
estate.
petunias ward off fairies?
Unfortunately, that's not how clerics work. We tend to the dead,
Okay.
and fairies aren't dead.
Is that how we found Theo?
Yes.
What? I'm not dead.
Of course not, dear.
And I'm not either. Pat.
Wait, what the hell is that supposed? You know what? It's fine. So which way is this?
I'll look for Hoope. And just ask.
He's nearby, and he's just like,
All right, listen, neighbor. Which way is Jenny of the Green Teeth? Which way is these woods?
first when you mention Jenny, he starts shaking his head like, and then when you ask about the woods, he kind of furrows his brow and he looks at the wooded area right behind the village.
That is where we need to go.
No, you mustn't.
What? Why?
Do you not see?
Well,
Yes,
we
a man's
do.
missing his eyes and had a bone driven through his middle section. Yes, we see.
He
But-
can't though.
As a renowned citizen of Cable's Hill, I forbid you from going into the forest.
I
Oh,
high five his
Alright.
hand.
This is no laughing matter.
Sorry.
I just pat his head as I move past him.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're really tough adventurers. Yeah.
Well, stop, please.
Are we all going? We're all just walking.
Yeah, we just walk past him.
Thank you for your help, neighbor.
It was nice meeting you.
You know, at the barbecue.
If you ever need to borrow hedge clippers, you know where to find us.
But if you intend to go into the forest, maybe you should talk to Sorellis.
Who is this? Who is this Sir Ellis? Is that the man that was on the pole?
No, Sorellis he's a ranger. He comes to town every now and then. We asked him to escort the search party, but he declined. You see, he's an elf. He comes from Greenvale, within the Glimmering Forest. He might be able to guide you if you are able to ask him. But you can't go. You just can't go tromping into the forest. I mean, the Fae will be upset.
Maybe if we ask permission, they'll be okay.
Yeah, sure.
I can
Sweet.
revoke your bucket privileges, Vivian.
No.
All right. So where would we find this Sir Ellis?
Sorellis he's just outside of town. Actually, his farm is nearby where Harbin was.
Hmm.
Oh, 2 for 1. Let's go there.
All right. So where would you head first? To meet with Sorellis, or would you try to let's just, for argument's sake, say that you go in the same direction, and then at one point it's gonna fork, and it's equal distant either way.
To Sorellis's and the missing guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Sorellis makes sense. If he's here, we should talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we want to catch him before he ends up peacing out again.
Yeah.
All right. So as you begin to walk to Sorellis's house, you find that his farm is more or less just a small cabin on the farthest edges of the settlement. And his cabin is remarkably different than all the other buildings, whereas the other buildings are made from, wood and straw. This one it seems to be made of wooden logs that have been felled and are held together by intertwining vines.
Ooh.
And as you approach, I mean, it's very much apparent that all of the plant life here is very lush and vibrant, and the area surrounding is almost overgrown with plant life. The path itself is little more than just an animal run. It's narrow and twisting through some of the growth here, and it takes about a mile or so from the fork to reach the cabin. And the only sign of occupancy here is there's a small garden along one side of the cabin that is assembled in a neat number of rows of herbs and vegetables, overwatched by a singular scarecrow. And as you approach, you can see that there is a half-elf hunched over tending the garden.
I'll call out to him. Just
Sorellis! Is this you? You're looking for this man.
I'm going to take it that they haven't returned yet, have they?
One of them did, but he is in a very bad off place.
He stands up and turns and looks towards you, and you can see that he clearly has some elvish features, but he appears to be maybe middle age, 30, 40, but there's something about it makes it very hard to pin down. And when he looks at you, you can see that he appears almost sad. And there's a very, very small but noticeable tinge of concern. Can you tell me what happened?
Well, we were inside of a bar. We heard the screaming, and then we went outside, and when we followed the screaming, there was a man on a pole whose eyes had been removed, and Theo has these stones that were in his eyes.
That's true.
And then there was a bone spear that was stuck through the man, pinning him to the pole. And Lady Alexandra, she removed the spear and has some notes that came off of it. It was a grisly sight, to be sure.
Oh, I have the parchment.
Vivi has the
Hand it to him.
parchment.
She'll hand it to him, bloodstained.
Well, you mentioned a spear. Do you still have that too?
No, I kind of left it in the middle of town. It really wasn't my sort of thing.
It didn't seem
Was it made of bone? Maybe about the length of from maybe your wrist to your elbow?
Oh, yes, exactly like that.
It's probably best you didn't bring it with you. The hags of the forest, they like to use those as scrying pins. Undoubtedly, she would have watched you on your journey. It's good that you've left it.
Oh. Well, good job, Lady Alexandra.
just clap her on the back.
Thank you.
High five.
It was quite awful. I didn't like it. I do like your tomatoes, though. They're very nice.
Did you say hags of the forest?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Can you tell more of that? Tell us about them.
Well, there is a coven of green hags that presides over all of the glittering forest. The most powerful of which is Jenny Greenteeth. And I was not around then, but I have heard legends that it was Jenny Greenteeth that made the original pact with the founders of Flan. And I'm sure Cable's Hill told you that the agreement would just allow them to settle there, but that is surely not the case. Jenny Greenteeth doesn't just allow them to exist at the edges of the forest. She uses her magics to protect the city. And as long as the truce has been upheld, she won't allow any harm to come to the residents. But, and he kind of glances off in the direction of the forest, and his words kind of trail off.
But
Well, you have those, don't you? And he kind of gestures towards the eyes that you had mentioned earlier.
Has anybody talked to Miss Greenteeth?
I would imagine not, unless maybe they did. Although that couldn't be good.
huh.
That's my thoughts exactly.
They said
I think it's a good thing we came to talk to you.
Yeah, that is a good question. What do you need from me?
we were told that you know your way into these woods.
I do?
So, would you be willing to maybe see us along a bit of the way into these woods?
Absolutely not.
Oh, come on, guy. Buddy.
I am no friend to the elves of Greenvale. And I'm afraid that if I accompany you into the forest, you may be a bigger target than you would be already. But I will give you the same offer that I gave to the scouting party. I will give you provisions and the best directions that I can muster. Although I will tell you, maps, directions will have little use inside the forest. It has a way of changing things.
That's good. I can't read a map. Saved my life.
What about the map of the man who disappeared? They said that his map allowed them to go into the woods and back. Is his map faithful, or is his map also crap?
I know nothing of his map.
Oh, that's fair enough. I don't either. I was hoping maybe you did, but
No, I've heard it mentioned in passing, but I couldn't speak on the validity or accuracy of such a map.
Do you know what happened to Halvin Grangle?
I have no idea why such an individual would go into the forest in the first place. It seems like just suicide. It's madness.
Well, do you know if he actually went into the forest?
I do not, ma'am.
Well, I don't think we've got much of a choice. If people are missing and may still be alive, and we might be able to meet with these hags and write up a new treaty that doesn't involve them skewering people who enter their domain.
I think that's probably the best plan that we have yet.
Well, do it or get skewered trying.
Oh no, don't put that out there. That's bad. We're going to live. We'll be fine.
If you are insistent, he walks over to a cabinet, and you see him pulling out bits of like terry cloth and twine, and he starts laying strips of meat and vegetables and bundling it up. After assembling 10 such of these little packs of rations, he goes and he pulls out several short swords and sturdy cloaks. This is all I can offer you, friends. But as I told the others, you should not go into the forest. It is surely death.
You know.
Okay, I'll be back.
Death is overrated.
It's
Just ask Theo.
What?
look.
I'm sure the matron of ravens embraces us all when our time comes, but right now we should find what we can.
That sounds good. That was nice, yeah.
We are experienced adventuring sorts. I personally have never killed a hag before, but I am assuming that as long as you hit them with the pointy end, they still go down all the same.
Oh, no. Don't do that. If you are insistent on going into the forest, and even if somehow you're able to gain an audience with Jenny Greenteeth, and he reaches up and he grabs you by the face and looks you dead in your eye, you need to treat her with respect. Do not offend her, because it will be the end of all of you.
I was always taught to be very kind to my neighbors.
Yes. If she doesn't kill you immediately for venturing into her domain, you need to mind what you say. There's no way any of you could best her in combat.
Of course.
That's debatable. I'm pretty good with the sword.
Face still smooshed.
Yeah.
All right, he realizes what he's doing and he lets you go.
My friends, do we have rope? Lots of rope.
I have rope.
I also have rope. I think we all have 50 feet of rope.
Fantastic. We
Yes.
can travel 200 yards.
Oh.
But okay, so like,
She doesn't comment on her math.
what if if we kill this hag, does the magic of the woods stop working and we can just find our way out normal?
Oh my god, yes.
He doesn't like it when
be
you
even
talk about
worse.
killing the hag.
If you kill the hag, then the enchantment she placed over all of Flan will be lost forever. We will be vulnerable to whatever doom would befall us.
Oh, okay, so it's a good thing that she's doing this magic. Okay. That puts things much more into perspective.
You've got to put out that particular solution out of your mind. He doesn't like that.
Look,
No stabbing. Got it.
okay.
Yeah. Don't stab the green lady. Got
That's
it.
why I got the net. Just saying, you guys said no kidnapping.
No stabbing.
No
in
stabbing.
every-
Bludgeoning
Or
it
any other
is.
hacks.
Which way to the forest?
Oh no.
Is there
I
I
have
believe
your
the safe
ropes?
entrance would be adjacent Cable's Hill.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Is there anything in particular that would offend her? That, besides the normal stuff?
That's good to know.
The Fae are such fickle creatures, ma'am. I couldn't tell you. Just tread very carefully.
Great. Okay. Just like visiting Nana.
When you say tread carefully, Scrid looks down at his hoof feet.
Just, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Just don't step on any squirrels like you did last time, Scrid.
Look, you step on 1, 2, 5 squirrels, suddenly you are the group squirrel stomper. It's fine.
Little Mouse is very afraid of you, Scrid. You need to be a bit more careful when you step.
I'm gentle. He's fine. I'll do this. So you said the hill? You said not
Hill.
Cable's
Hill.
Hill. Other place?
Cable's
No, Cable's Hill.
Cable's Hill.
That's what he said.
Okay.
Are we going to go check out that guy's house?
Yeah, should we still check out Farmer
Howard
guys.
Wrangles.
Farmer Engel?
I think we should check out his barn.
As long as we're close, maybe we'll find the crap map.
We must find crap map.
Yeah. All right. As you, again, back to the fork road, other direction, and the approach to the farmhouse leads you to a small hollow within a copse of trees right on the edge of the forest. You see that there is a clearing here where beyond Halvin's barn, you could enter into the woods. And you can see that this barn has definitely seen better days. It's got loose shingles. There's holes in the roof. There's an entire section of the wall that is collapsed. and there's a peeling whitewash that surrounds much of the structure. And further away from the barn, you could see a second building off in the distance that looks even more dilapidated and decayed.
Which one do you think we should go into first? The big house, little house?
I vote big house.
All right, we look into big house.
Okay.
Okay. When you walk in, much of the structure is in ruins. There's literal boulders and debris covering, say, 70% of the main building. However, the remaining small portion, there's just enough room, and you see that there is like hay and hides kind of heaped together in a makeshift bed. There's a small chest near the bed, and there's wax everywhere from many nights of melted candles.
Mage hand open the chest.
Doing so, you see that the chest is empty.
Is there like holes in the ceiling of this barn where these boulders came through, or does it look like there is just a bunch of boulders in the middle of this barn?
Not boulders so much, more like the barn is so old that the support beams have collapsed, and then the roof and all the shingles are just kind of sitting in the floor.
Okay. Yeah, I'll start just poking around. See if I can find anything.
Okay. If you're going to kind of, search around, see if you find anything of interest, can you make investigation checks? All or one of you?
Yeah. It is a 6.
What was it?
Natural 20.
Bingo. All right. So, lady, as you're searching around, you just kind of in passing see the bottom of the chest has a small seam around the floor. And you kind of reach in and you pick up and you find that there is a hidden compartment in the chest. And when you pull the false panel aside, you can see there is a small, ornate silver box with the likeness of a dragon head etched onto the lid.
Pull it out carefully. You missed this, Vivian, as I hand it to her.
Ooh. Okay, open it.
Okay. Opening the small box, you find a pouch with 15 gold pieces, several precious gems, and a leather diary. And on the cover of this leather diary is a stylized image. It looks like a dragon, except it has 7 heads like a hydra. And head is colored differently.
Ruh-roh.
Now look at that. Would I recognize this as a cleric?
Oh, sure. Let's not even make you roll for it.
All right.
I'm gonna
recognize this.
I'm gonna roll because I'm not that smart.
Okay.
I do not recognize it.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Lady, you immediately recognize this as a picture of Tiamat.
Oh,
Take
boy.
the page and kind of fold it up. This is a cursed image. Tuck it away.
Oh. What makes it cursed?
Tiamat is the fierce and horrible dragon queen. You don't want to mess with her. She is deservedly in hell.
Okay. So why would some random farmer out in the woods have something like this?
Maybe he was a dragon cultist, or maybe he helped slew her. I do not know. But either way, we don't mess with Tiamat. Understand?
There's a
I got it.
diary here too, right?
The picture of Tiamat's on the diary.
Yeah, it was like embossed into the leatherwork.
You
I just
put
tore it
away.
off.
Oh, you tore it off.
Forget it.
I'm I'm gonna use my mage hand scarf to flip open the diary. I'll sit still in Alexandra's hands and just peek over her shoulder.
Okay. So you can look at it.
It is a diary, and there's maybe 15-ish pages that are written. And the TLDR is that Halvin was sent to Cable's Hill to make a new treaty with the Fae of the Quivering Forest, specifically to convince them to break their pact with the town and allow the Cult of the Dragon to plunder its resources. He has been sending letters and gifts to the elves of the forest and has not received a response. And after months of no progress, one of the last entries says about how he is going to enter into the forest to entreat them in person.
Oh, this is so sad.
Oh,
The only reason that they're in trouble is because they went into the forest to go and find him. And he turned out to be a big doofus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I am finding nothing underneath all of these boards. Are you guys having any better luck?
One more thing. As you kind of come to this realization, one of the last entries, he talks about how he thinks he knows how to reach the city of Greenhall, and that he's going to try and meet with the elves first, and that he is going to leave his familiar behind to watch in case any other dragon cultists come and follow.
Uh-oh.
I'll look around for a familiar. Holding up the book.
Walking through the main house, you don't see any signs of any other creatures.
Boy, I sure do love the dragon cult.
Oh yeah.
Boy, Tiamat, real good gal.
What has
My
gotten
book.
into the two of you?
We sure do love that Tiamat.
Yeah, I like dragons a lot.
Oh, dragons are so cool.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I would like to imagine this goes on for quite some time.
Scrid just looks really confused.
We keep looking around.
I'll head out of the house and go to the smaller domain.
I feel more comfortable in the smaller domain, yes.
All right.
So glad you were on board with that. He was right on it.
To the smaller structure, and immediately you can see that there are 3 cow carcasses that lay piled near some of the nearby brush that surround the building. Each of the carcasses are in various stages of rot, and they've all been torn open, and it's obvious that large portions of the carcasses are gone.
As soon as we come around the corner, I'm just like, Scrid, don't look!
Why? What is the problem? Oh my god!
Oh no.
I'm just petting Scrit's
Oh no, it's best.
I'm petting Scrit's head. It's okay.
Why does everybody do this every time? I like beef. It's okay. Like, I pass by butcher shop after butcher shop. I desensitize. It's okay. I cut people down for a living. This is fine.
You want to talk about it, Scrid?
No.
Vivian whispers to Theo.
He's in denial.
Where's denial?
It's a river south.
So, as you guys are comforting Scrid because he's so distraught, one of the closest corpses begins to kind of shudder for a minute. The loose flesh and skin that's kind of hanging open kind of flaps for a moment, and then suddenly the blade of a small knife pierces upwards through the corpse, and it's almost like an old cartoon where it's like sawing up and down in a hole, and then You can see it falls in, and standing inside the corpse, covered completely in gore, is a small, scaly creature with leathery wings. And he kind of steps forward and spills onto the ground.
Well, hello. Aren't you adorable?
Have you heard the
hey.
good word about Tiamat?
We sure do love Tiamat.
Oh, just shut up with all of that.
I'm gonna wash both your mouths with soap.
Oh, I wouldn't dream of it.
Not you. You are. What is your name, little creature?
I am Pip Yap.
Mm-hmm.
His name's Pip Yap?
Pip Yap.
Why are you laughing? It is Pip Yap.
It's quite a good name for whatever you are.
It's an excellent name for an imp.
An imp.
Adorable.
All right.
So, and he kind of holds up the big chunk of rotten flesh and starts like, what do you want?
I think that is a good place to go into our break for the evening. So we are going to be 5 to 10 minutes, and then we're going to be right back to it. But this gives us time to go either get some more water, use the bathroom, grab a quick bite to eat. So again, 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or go to bit.ly/adventure merch and check out any of the merch that we have in store. Or if you want to leave a review for us on either the audio cast or our VODs, hey man, that's always appreciated too. But again, we are going to try and be back shortly, so don't go no place. All right, everybody. Bye-bye! And we are back! We have just met with Pip Yap the Imp, and he asked us what do we want after cutting all the bullshit about the dragon cult.
That's right. So, what do you want?
Do you know where I can find an impway?
A what now?
An impway.
He turns and he looks the lady.
Answer her question. It's a valid question. You should answer it.
I don't know how to. He turns around and he like lunges into the corpse he just exited. And then you like his tail and his feet are kind of like dangling out, and you see he's like rooting around inside. And then after a moment, he comes out and he pulls a large burlap sack out from inside the corpse, and then he starts sawing away at pieces again. And he's just, as he finishes it, he shoves it into the sack, and he's like, "I really don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I do wish I could be more of an assistance." And he goes back to sawing.
I reach over and pick the little imp up.
Hey!
He's staying with us now.
Oh, no, I am not.
Oh, he can be
And as he says this, he just kind of teleports back on the ground.
Oh.
That's disappointing.
Where's your bucket, Vivian?
I hand it to Lady Alexandra.
Why do you still have the bucket?
God, no, not the bucket.
The bucket will hold in. The bucket has a hole in it.
You will get in this bucket, little imp, and you'll come with us.
Well,
Or I smish you.
I would prefer that not to happen, but
How much does an imp weigh?
I mean, I could come with you. I'm not exactly doing anything important. Just kind of, well, and he holds up the bloody knife and a piece of rotten flesh. And he's like, I do have some things, but I mean, I could clear my schedule. And he's like ticking the knife on his cheek as he's like thinking.
Yeah, well, what are you? You're the familiar of Gringle.
Chris Kringle.
Albert Kringle, Chris. Yeah, that's him.
Your master's like, I think I feel like we want to stop him, but like maybe you could help us find him, and then like we'll protect you, and then you can find him, and that'll help you, and then it'll help us because we can.
Oh, I'll help you. He went that way, and he points to the opening to the forest that I had mentioned earlier.
That's useful, I guess.
Do you know if he's dead or is he alive?
Ooh, yeah, would you know that? Do you know how to find him?
Usually, I share kind of a psychic connection with him, but ever since he entered the forest, I've been unable to communicate with him, you know. Something about that place makes that impossible.
But would you know whether or not he's dead?
I do not know. That's why I haven't left yet. I mean, he's been gone a really long time.
I
But-
understand. Sometimes it's hard to tell, isn't it, Theo?
What? What?
Yeah. You know, he's not a bad person. He's a really swell guy. He just makes some really dumb choices sometimes, you know? And the last one was a doozy. I mean, even I thought it was stupid.
What did he want to do?
Well, he wanted to go in there, and he points to the forest again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How many times
Even
did he go in there?
No better than to mess with a hag.
How many times did he go in there?
Just once.
Wait, so was there a map? He said he only went. If he only went in the once, how was he able to make a map? Unless he was just bullshitting people.
Where'd the map come from?
Oh, well, Helvin made it. I mean, it was less of a map and more of an idea. You see, he said you couldn't trust your sense of direction inside the forest because of Fey mumbo jumbo. Hey, you don't understand. But he said that if you always head to your right and you put your back to the east, then you should be able to reach the Elven City.
I understand now.
I
It
don't.
was crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, I think she's got it.
All right. Well, you've been very helpful, I suppose.
I suppose. Are you hungry? I have, and he waves some of the dead, rotten meat at you.
My constitution is not what it used to be. I am good.
Well, that's not very neighborly of you. Isn't that what you said? You said that, right?
It's true. Yeah, you are being a bad neighbor right now.
Oh
So.
no. No, guys, not right now.
You
No,
must be
not
kind.
about this. No, you are right. It's important to be a good neighbor. And he'll reach down and take the moldy meat.
Oh my god.
He's gonna try and eat it and just this is delicious. Thank you. Is that some thyme that you've put in there? Wow, the rosemary flavor, really.
That's not rosemary. I think I just forgot to wipe off my feet before I climbed inside and started rooting around.
It could be rosemary if you were walking in a rosemary bush.
Oh, this one is smart. I like him. It could be rosemary.
People don't usually call me smart.
It's just like, and he clearly just like has it kind of like tucked away in the back corner.
Not actually eating it.
So, what are you gonna do now?
I'll take a stake from maybe a post or something, a fence or something. Stick it in the ground a few feet from the forest, tie some rope around it so we don't get lost.
That's a good idea. Yeah. I can't see anything going wrong with that.
That could never go wrong.
You're coming with us, Imp.
Oh, no,
in the
no.
bucket.
Get in the bucket.
Get in the bucket.
Don't
How
worry,
much
we'll
does an
carry
imp
you.
weigh? I need to know.
Oh,
This is very
they are tiny creatures.
Yeah?
Be just a few pounds.
Just a few. Oh, great. Okay, I may chant him into the bucket.
Yeah. So you pick him up with the mage hand. He goes into the bucket.
Mm-hmm. And I just keep the hand over the bucket.
After a moment, you hear a voice coming from behind you. Why are you holding it like that?
How
Get the
did you
bucket.
get there? Look at this tricksy fox.
Pip-Yap, if your master is dead, you'll need a new master, and I am also good at magic.
Ha!
You said
Pip-Yap is his own man. I need no master.
What
There are
about...
many cows here that for me to eat. I will be fine.
What are you going to do when you run out of cows?
Then I will eat the people.
Oh, that's
Mark
cannibalism.
What if it was like a buddy cop situation? It wasn't like a master, another master. But like you guys worked in tandem together. Then...
I will tell you what. If you survive that, and he points to the forest, and I'm still here, then we could be buddy masters.
Okay. Try not to eat anyone while we're gone.
I can do.
Okay, well, I guess let's...
Onward.
Woods, everybody, woods.
Wits.
I give the imp a spare scarf and say, there, all better. As I go into the woods.
All right. As you enter the quivering forest, you travel very short distance, like 10 feet. And when you travel in, the thick canopy above the, from the trees makes it almost completely dark. I mean, again, you are 10 feet from the entrance. Like, you can clearly see the daylight still there. But it's almost like something is suppressing all of the natural light. And in order to proceed any further, you're going to need some way to see.
I have 120 feet of dark vision.
No fair. How'd you get that?
I don't know.
Human tax.
I'll strike up a torch and then turn to the forest and say,
Actually, I'm looking at it. I don't think any of you have dark vision. We got Dark Goliath.
Yeah, Minotaurs and Goliaths cannot see in the dark.
No, I have horns. I don't have eyes.
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
make a torch.
As
With
a shadow
torches-
sorcerer, I do have 120 feet of dark vision.
Shadow Sorcerer.
That's what it
Okay.
is. Shadow Sorcerer.
All right.
I'm not high enough level to take dark vision implications.
Womp womp.
Wow.
I'll ask the forest for permission to continue onwards, and we're going through just to find somebody. We are not going to here to damage you. We are just here to get somebody and come back.
Ooh,
That's
maybe
all.
that'll help. As you travel into the forest, it seems like everything is just wet. Like, there's a constant layer of moisture as you move your way into the forest. And there's, in addition to being dark and there not being any light, it's almost like there's this clinging fog that hovers over the forest floor. And as you move deeper, the entire forest smells like rot in vegetation. And as you proceed, you can't help but always be on edge, because as you move through, you swear you can hear children laughing off in the dark and distant. You turn and you look, you see nothing. It's dark, there's fog obscuring your vision. So you pause for a moment and you try to turn your ear towards it and discern where the sound is coming from, and it doesn't repeat itself. You start moving forward once again, and then you hear what sounds like women crying and men groaning in pain. And same again, the face. Again, you just stop and you look around like, what the fuck is going on here, guys? And there's some very serious Blair Witch vibes going on throughout the forest.
Lady, I don't think that your asking for permission has worked.
I don't think so either, which is a shame. But we still have the rope, I hope.
Oh yeah, do we have we gotten to
How's the rope doing?
It's still there's resistance on the other end where it's been tied to the stake outside of the forest.
Nice.
Hey, did Sir Ellis tell us how to get to the elves to the green hollow?
He did not. The best offer he gave you was the rations and the supplies.
But
Those are good though.
Liam told us to keep our back to the east, I think.
That's what I was gonna say. We could keep our back to the east and go right.
So you begin to travel, and as you are making your way through, almost very suddenly, you feel the rope go taut as you have run out of room.
I'm afraid that's all the rope we have.
Well, you turn around and you look in the direction of the rope. It's a very peculiar sight. The rope is no longer dragging along the forest floor out towards the direction of that you came in. It travels out about 15 feet, and then it goes straight up into the air. And it looks like it's been tied around one of the limbs high above you.
Huh.
Nobody touch it.
Nope.
As you marvel at this wonder, you hear it.
Oh, someone's like, it's like a fun game.
Don't touch it, Theo. I would be very disappointed if you did.
This is a nope rope. This is a no touching rope.
I'm still holding on to my end because I don't want to fall for fey trickery. Just like.
What if we use the mage hand?
Okay. I smacked Vivian's hand down.
All right. Using Mage Hand, sure, you can go on up there and undo the knot, and the rope falls to the ground and coils at your feet.
But now we still don't know where the exit is.
But we have our rope back.
But at least we have the rope.
Score!
Divide the rope back into 50 feet bits and stash them in our Advent Explorer's kits or whatever.
And distribute them back.
Okay. Are any of us good at survival?
I'm good at surviving.
No, we're all gonna die.
I think we're all pretty good at surviving.
On a scale of 1 to an undisclosed number, I would say I'm about a 4.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good.
So I can help. I will.
That helps. That's what I was getting at.
All right. Is anybody else good at the surviving?
Decent.
All right. Do you want to help me?
I will help you survive in the woods that are making a mockery of us, yes.
Okay.
You have to be alive to survive, right?
Yes.
What?
All right. Let's see. Show me the monies. That is going to be an 18.
Okay. So after kind of examining your surroundings, you're able to gain a little bit more information. You're not able to discern what direction the laughter came from or which direction you came from, but you are able to kind of you look at some of the trees and you see like, oh, the moss is on this side. That's north, which means we need to head this way. And you're able to regain your bearings and find your heading.
Perfect. So now we position ourselves So we follow the way the imp said, which was go right if the east is at your back.
Very good, Scrid.
So I turn north, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a survival expert, but I think that just means go north.
Okay. Well, now we know which way is north, and that's the important part.
Okay. Unless there's some sort of magic that requires us to literally sidestep to the north.
You have to crab walk through the forest.
You jest, but I'm going to start doing this thing, and just for like 50 feet or so, see if anything weird, like weirder extra happens.
But if you're not
Out of
doing
character, I
it,
would not put
I am
that
going.
past logic.
I am going to
Like-
be just shimmy shaking over here to the other side. Make sure that nothing weird or extra happens.
Oh, sweet all-knowing mother, guide us. Sounds very good, Scrid.
as he
Just follow
shakes
like
forward,
normal.
Vivian, you hear something small fall and hit the leaves at your feet.
I look down.
There are maybe 3 or 4 berries that seem to have fallen on the ground near you.
Oh, good,
As
snacks.
you turn and look down at them, several more seem to tumble down, and now there's like a half a dozen of them. And you realize they fell out of your pack.
Oh no.
Mm-mm. I look in my pack.
It is full to bursting with all kinds of wild berries. There's red and blue and purple, and as you open your pack, they like continue to multiply and grow until they are spilling out everywhere in a explosion of berries.
I didn't know you knew nature magic. That's quite impressive.
Are
I
they?
don't.
Can I survival check some of these berries?
Can I nature check these berries?
Sure. Both of you can make your requisite checks.
Can I,
Oh, God, somebody-
can I make a con save to check these?
Then you make the con save.
Modified 20.
16.
All right, both of those are enough. You look at them, and they just look like regular forest berries, not harmful, probably, and very ripe.
Handful right into the chompers.
They are
Oh.
delicious and sweet.
Is my stuff still here?
No, it is not.
Oh no.
All of the contents of your pack have been removed and replaced with berries.
Oh my.
I'll thank the forest for the berries that have been given to us.
Don't thank them. They stole from us.
It's good to be polite to our neighbors.
It
Don't
was-
forget.
Clearly a trade. I mean, you got so many. These berries are really delicious. You should really try some.
Infinite berries could be useful.
Eh?
Think how many people we can feed with all of these berries.
We can
Think
use
how-
the berries.
Think of how many spells she can't cast without her focus.
I was hoping she had that like on her belt or something.
Oh no,
I
it's
quick-
gone too.
I quickly checked my bag.
Wait, do you have your scarf still, or did your scarf turn to berries?
Oh, I sure hope I still have my scarf. That would be very bad if I didn't have my scarf. Do I still have my scarf?
Somehow they didn't manage to get that off you too.
Oh, good. That's my
I reach for my sword.
A pat Scrid. Don't worry.
No, I was just more checking to see if it was there. It wasn't aggressive. Like, all of your stuff is gone and buried.
As you come to the revelation that all of her belongings are gone, you once again hear that small tinkling sound almost on the edges of your perception.
I'm regretting not taking Sylvan as a language.
Up in the trees, there is a bundle. It's about yay big. It looks to be covered in leaves, and it's hanging there and you can see in bright pigmentation is like the shape of a heart.
Oh.
That's sweet.
Like a cute heart or an anatomically correct heart?
No, not that one. Just a heart, cutesy.
Mage hand?
Yeah. Grab.
Yeah, Mage Hand goes up and grabs the bundle.
Oh shit! Do you have mage hand too?
I do also
comes
have
down.
mage hand.
Okay, I just thought you were commanding me to mage hand. I was like, I can do that. Okay.
You find that inside this bundle is your stolen belongings.
Oh.
I'll thank the forest for returning the bundle.
Yeah.
Thank you, Forest, for returning our things. It was very kind of
They
you.
gave us a gift. Now we have all of these berries and your things. I see this is an absolute win. He puts his hands
I
out.
can't argue with that. That's true.
Well,
It's too bad our bucket has a hole in it.
yes.
Does anybody know how to magically mend things?
Does anybody have mending?
You have to have the other piece.
Oh, damn it.
Oh.
Just caveats.
Guess we'll walk north.
This way.
All right. As the party begins to travel forward once again, Theo, can you make me a dexterity save, please?
Oh, I sure can. It's not gonna go well.
Oh no, if he fails, he might die.
Oh, actually, that's a 16.
Okay. I hate to inform you, that is still a fail.
Uh-oh.
Whoa!
As you begin to walk forward, you fail to notice, but your foot catches on something and you tumble forward. And you land face down in the dirt and mud. It doesn't hurt so much as it is embarrassing, and you hear peals of laughter from up in the canopy. And as you look down, you see that your boot laces have been tied together.
This is. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to do this. I don't know how that. Just give me a second.
Vivi, did you mage hand this?
Untying and tying them back together.
Vivi, be honest. Did you mage hand this?
No, I would never do that.
Vivi.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
You hear a bunch of voices. Yes, she did. It was her.
See, they are saying that you were the one who did this.
Okay, but like, this clearly is something that I might do, but I didn't do it this time.
I don't know.
That's fair.
And Skrid will turn to the open forest. What do you think? Did she do it or did she not?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's Vivi. They're saying that you did it. The forest has spoken.
The forest has spoken. Okay, well, I guess I can't argue with the forest. Sorry, Theo.
I forgive you.
Well, after dwelling on the nonsense for another couple of moments, the party recomposes itself and marches forward.
But,
as you are traveling, you can see that the limited amount of light that you did have is starting to disappear. It's getting late into the day, and it's looking like we may need to make a camp for the night.
I'll tell the forest we're gonna camp here. Just gonna take some fallen branches. We won't take more than we need. We won't take the food. We have rations.
Well, you do have a choice. You could choose to continue marching forward through the night, or you could make camp where you currently stand.
I have torches.
We do have torches.
That way it does not burn any of the forest wood. But I feel like this place is already confusing as it is in the daylight.
And nighttime would make it that much worse.
Scrid just nods.
What about you, Vivi? Theo?
Oh, I could nap. Nappings.
All right. I guess we have decided. We should still take watches. We should definitely take watches. Because I mean, let's not forget, we did see a man stabbed through with a bone spear and his eyes replaced with black rocks. So,
Oh yeah, I still have those.
I'll tell the forest to I'll ask the forest to let us get some good night's sleep and help set up camp.
You hear again the almost bell-like tinkling laughter, followed by a second voice that is very gruff and malicious that just shouts back, "No!"
What?
Well, that's not very nice.
This forest is mean. Very mean.
Who said that?
I said that.
No, not you.
So, who's taking the first watch?
are we still camping here? The forest said not to.
I think so.
Serious.
Okay. I will take I can take first watch.
Okay.
Okay. And then after him.
I'll take a second.
Okay. Third, fourth.
Yeah. I'll take third.
Cool. Got it.
Yeah,
All right. So you guys make your camp for the night. You set up watch, and as it's about time for Scrid to get his chance to go to sleep, I need Scrid to make a perception check.
That is a 22. I've got all my bad rolls out earlier this week, and this game I'm doing well.
Ruining it. As you begin to walk over towards Lady to get her up for her watch, you see something out of the corner of your eye. And when you turn and look at it, you realize that it didn't catch your eye right away because of the muting effects that the forest seems to have on your torch's light. But you can see clearly Theo, wrapped up in his sleeping bag, is floating about 10 feet into the air. And he is slowly rising ever higher.
No, he is not. I'm going to run over, jump, and grab him down.
Oh, God.
Okay.
All right, so
as you run and grab him and kind of force him back to the ground, he's going to awake, violently. But you actually see this time 4 pixies that were at the corners of each end of his bag. And then after you kind of grab and start forcing it, they seem to like poof out of existence and become invisible.
Oh.
Morning, sunshine.
Is it my watch?
Just go back to sleep. Just like big minotaur finger, just right on your lips. Just shush.
Still wrapped up in your sleeping bag.
Do not worry, my friend. Just go back to sleep. All will be well. Shush. The forest is very active tonight.
All right.
And then I'll just
After that.
stand up, walk away.
Sure.
Yeah, just right over to
Right,
Lady.
so then Lady gets up and she begins her watch. And then again, when it's about time for the next shift, Vivian, you need to make me a con save, please.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. 14. Okay. You awake to a stinging sensation inside your tent, sleeping bag. You awake to a stinging sensation inside your sleeping bag, and you can feel like something tickling you on your leg.
Ow. I scooch out of my sleeping bag.
As you do, you see that your legs are covered in honey, and that there is a veritable horde of insects crawling up your legs, kind of getting to this sweet, sticky honey. And they are completely coated around the inside of your bag. And I don't know, how would you react to that?
I've just now decided that Vivian is terribly scared of bugs. She screams.
Okay. So she screams and has a full blown freak out because, it's not just one bug or two, like it was swarming around your legs.
Yeah.
And that con save I had you roll, it shook you so badly that you were unable to sleep for the remainder of the night. And I'm afraid you will have 1 level of exhaustion.
Rats.
Oh no, my move speed.
Rats.
Why is a mouse?
Vivian is just like he spends the rest of the night curled up next to Lady, just rocking back and forth like so many bugs.
All right. The rest of the night is uneventful. You guys make it through, and through the night you could still creepy sounds, babies crying, people in agony, laughing pixies. But eventually the dawn comes and you guys are able to move on.
There, Vivian. They're just bugs.
Dark circles under her eyes.
Strange dreams. That squid came to me in the night.
That's a weird dream, buddy. I'm just saying.
Everybody has the squid dream eventually.
Shrugs his shoulders. Wait, what? Wait, which squid dream? What dream is this? No, hey, you come back here. Alright, so through the night we were good. I'm gonna try and find north again, just like so that way we get our bearings.
I'm not gonna make a roll for it. You're able to locate it without too much difficulty.
Alright, so
and
I'll lay some sugar cubes down at our camp for thanking the forest for letting us stay there.
I like how nothing has happened there.
Thank you. That was a good night's sleep.
All right.
Vivian just standing behind you with the dark circles.
In my head canon, you're more or less like on her back, like 3PO, and
Just hanging off.
Okay, Vivian, let's go.
Hoist her up. As you wake up and continue forward, you travel for several hours without any further interference from the Fae. As you are walking forward, you begin to see they are life-size replicas of the 4 of you. And they're standing in a half circle, kind of obstructing the road ahead of you. And they seem to be made out of sticks and vines. And, there's no real features of them. You can just tell, like, because they're the rough size and shape of you. Like Squid's has, horns, and you can say, oh, that's Squid. The only difference is on these replicas, it's almost like the plant matter is bleeding. And there's a giant cavity in the center of their chest where the blood seems to be stemming from. And you can't help but feel shaken, as the message is quite clear here.
Oh dear.
That's a lot. That barely looks like me, but like, pretty sure that one's me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they exaggerated my hip size.
So.
Well, Forrest, we have to keep traveling to find Miss Greentooth. As I take out my notes. Yes, Miss Greentooth. I'm sorry you don't like us here, but we have to keep traveling. We'll leave soon, I promise. Put my notes away.
Does anybody have any currency?
Oh, I have some gold and sugar cubes.
You should put a gold and a sugar cube in each of those chest cavities.
I'll hand them to Vivian and Theo. Can you mage hand these into each of the cavities, please?
Yeah, we distribute.
As you do, you hear a voice, maybe about a foot away from you now. And it's the loudest and clearest you've heard it yet. Why do you do that?
To which one of us?
I mean,
it's just talking to any of you.
It would be rude to not leave gifts.
You leave the shinies for pixies?
For the pixies and whoever wishes to have them.
As you say this, a small winged creature appears, hovering in the air at about eye level ahead of all of you. It is male, and it has almost like a yellow-hued skin with a vibrant reddish color hair, and it's clothed in only like a kilt made of leaves, but it almost seems to emanate light. And as he looks at all of you, do not close the meeting. As he looks to all of you, he looks around and he says, if you give gifts to pixies, we are friends?
We're good neighbors.
Neighbor?
Yes.
Pixies like you. You play pixie games, not get mad like Jenny Greenteeth. Pixies don't like Jenny Greenteeth.
Oh, what a coincidence. We also don't like Jenny Greenteeth. Kind of looking around like, yeah, right?
We don't know her enough to pass judgment, Theo.
That's fair.
Pixie help. Offer you 4.
For what?
Answers. That's 1.
Oh, sorry, guys. This happens every time.
It's quite Theo. That was very clever, Pixie. What can we call you?
2. I am Bog.
Bug.
Bog.
Bug.
Rats.
Which is the way to the Jenny Greenteeths?
Jenny Greenteeth.
We have to talk to her about the contract. We were told to go. Hey, you said that you would answer questions because we played your games.
But pixies fear old woman.
But I don't
she
fear
eats
her.
us, the pixies.
She hasn't eaten me.
Jenny Greenteeth. That way.
Thank you.
We have one more
Some
question.
golden sugar.
I feel like Jenny would choke on your horns if she tried to eat you.
Exactly. It'd be a tough meal. But will you help us? Or will you take us to her?
Jenny Greenteeth eats the pixies. Decorates cottage with wings. We knew not go, Jenny Greenteeth.
How do we get out of the forest?
You have no more questions.
Oh,
sorry.
rats.
I tell you what, this game is fun. I ask you a question, and then you get one more.
Okay.
Okay. Which one? He points to each one of you, like in turn. Which one has the smelliest feet?
I look down at my cloven feet. He looks over at Lady.
Guys, I mean, you wear the biggest boots.
You have hooves, Grid.
He asked for feet. He did not ask for my clip clops. Okay.
I admit, I actually have very clean feet. Thank you. I bathe regularly.
Wait.
Oh, I don't. Maybe my feet stink.
I was just going to say Theo. I'm pretty sure.
Wait, is that the answer, or are
Do you
you
want-
just trying to find someone to take the hit?
Do you want to smell? Be the judge for yourself.
Does it have to be an accurate answer? We could just
Will
like.
you let me?
Theo.
You want to smell the?
Theo, will you let this sprite smell your feet? Will you let Bog be the judge of whose feet is smelliest? We can't
Went
show
from
this on
harmless
Twitch.
fun to weird.
Yeah. Okay. Theo.
He's looking at you, Theo.
Theo takes
Remove
off
the
one of,
boot.
one of his boots.
And he kind of remember he's only like this big, so like your big toe is like the size of his whole head,
Yeah.
and he just kind of like very cautiously moves in, and then he.
Oh god. Oh.
Oh yes, it's this one. He has very smelly feet.
Oh yay.
In the whole group. I think it is only just Theo. You should get the next question.
Oh, I don't know. I don't trust myself with questions.
All right, so, lady, you are smartest in the group.
I think Vivian's question is valid. How do we return out of the forest safely and intact?
The answer is you cannot. The only way to leave once you enter is if you have Jenny Greenteeth's blessing.
I see.
I think we're going to go and see her then.
How do we make Jenny green tea?
That's another question. It's my turn. Okay, you answer correctly, and I give you one more.
Oh, okay.
Can I have that? And he points to your greatsword.
Ooh.
Ooh.
How would you carry it?
Magic.
All right. And one condition. Be careful with it, okay?
Oh yes, of course.
Takes off his grain sword, hands it to
Vivian
the sprite.
puts up a hand. After we meet Jenny Greenteeth. You didn't say when.
That's not how this game works.
I'm just saying, you didn't say when.
Vivian's right. You did not say when.
Bog does not go to the Jenny Green Teeth. She eats as the fairies.
But
Just guide us until you're comfortable leaving
That
us.
way.
Yes.
That's the level of his comfort.
Yes, yes.
do you use a bow? Are you familiar with bow sport?
Is that our question?
No, I'm
That
asking.
is a question.
No, you have not received my greatsword, so we are still at an impasse, my friend.
Then the game is over.
No, the game is not over because I have this. And he pulls out a crossbow. He says, this is automatic. You load bolts into it. You can fire it on people from far away. It's like having a bee stinger that you can just point at somebody.
Well, it's very cool, but I have already asked question. And the question was, can I have that?
I was okay with it, and then everybody else started saying no. And then it got me second guessing, but...
But if the answer is no, then we've answered your question, right? That's an answer.
Oh shit. Sorry, Vivi wouldn't
He
swear.
crunches up his face.
But that's not what a good neighbor would do. You can borrow this, okay? Just give it back to me like a neighbor will give back any other tool they borrow.
You're giving him the sword?
Yeah, I'll give him the sword.
All right, so you hold it out to him, and he kind of like rests on the pommel. And then you let go. He starts to flap his wings, but it just goes straight down. Like, he just right to the ground.
Are you alright, Mr. Fairy?
Nobody saw that.
No, no one saw that.
No.
I wasn't paying attention. What did I not see?
He
Do it
quickly
again.
flits back up to eyesight. Ask your question.
Another question. What should we ask?
How do we entice Jenny Greenteeth to be cordial towards us?
This kidnapping won't work.
You must offer her something that she desires.
A pixie.
Only. On that note, he looks at you wide-eyed and just pops and disappears.
What,
Does
did
the
he
sword
leave
stay?
the great
The
sword?
sword stays. He doesn't take it with him.
Pick up my great sword and put it on my back.
I'm sorry, that wasn't very neighborly of me.
My sword is beyond magic. Alright, let us go meet this Jenny of the Green Teeth. They start heading that way.
Okay.
How many levels of
begin-
exhaustion did I have? I'm sorry.
Just one.
Just one? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. So you begin to head in the direction that the pixie showed you. And you smell it before you see it. You round a bend in the path, and you find the body of a male human lying face down in the dirt, with a half dozen arrows embedded in his back. As you approach, you disturb a black cloud of flies that's feasting on the bodies, and it fills the air with the drone of a dozen wings.
As nature intended.
Yes, with all the arrows.
From here, do these look like arrows of elven make, or do these look more of like a natural, like a hunter made these arrows kind of thing?
No, sure, I'll give it to you. They definitely seem elvish in nature. There's odd, spiral designs along the shaft, and it seems very, very fine craftsmanship for something as mundane as an arrow.
All right. I don't know what to do here. Jenny?
I'll call out towards the cloud of flies.
Jenny Greenteeth. All right, so the flies are not Jenny Greenteeth. Established.
I think they're just decay flies. I mean, I pull the body off the path and kind of push it into the brush. There.
Well, that was unexpected. All right. What is everybody's passive perception?
14.
Yes.
I laugh every time you say that because it's a joke.
Who is this guy? He wants passive perception? What?
13.
12.
14.
Okay. Now I get to roll my first dice for the night.
Ooh.
Hey.
Hey, since when do we have passive investigation?
You technically have a passive everything.
Yeah, everything is base 10.
Womp womp. All right. So I rolled a 16. It's higher than all of your passives. So you failed to notice the hungry panthers that were stalking the dead corpse here.
Uh-oh.
And as you disturb the body, the very territorial creatures see you messing with the corpse, and they assume you're trying to take their food. And they immediately pounce. If everybody can roll initiative, please.
Yes.
Let's go to these panthers.
My drizzed senses are tingling. It's around here somewhere.
What was that?
My drizzed senses are tingling. Or panthers. He's got to be around here. All right, I got a 12.
Wow.
Wow.
I got 11. 11.
Oh my god.
13.
Oh my god. I got a 14.
Yeah.
Aha! All right, and let me see what I got. I was dummy and I closed their sheet. All right, I got a 20. That's cool.
Great. Great.
Well, I guess that gets it over with nice and quick. So the panthers, they come bursting out of the brush, right? And everybody is surprised, and they are going to bite and claw at all of you. There are 3 panthers, and we will attack in order. First, Scrid. 17 versus AC.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
All right, 5 piercing.
Oh,
As he bites down and, grabs onto your calf.
oh, jeez.
The other one, as it leaps, it claws that lady, trying to get her away from the food. 21. Man, my dice are hot today. 21 versus AC.
Yeah.
For 5.
Yeah.
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 And then the last one, also attacking lady. You shouldn't have touched the food. 11 is a miss.
Yes.
All right. And then next is Viv. Go ahead.
Oh, how much?
I know I said it was a surprise round, but we're not going to do that. I gave them advantage because they attacked from stealth.
Aha.
That's how we're going to do that.
Okay.
I'm not trying to kill anybody.
How much damage did I take again?
Just 5.
5. Okay.
So two panthers attacked lady. Where's the other panther?
That's great.
I Scrid.
On Scrid. Could I possibly maneuver to a place where I am 10 feet, or where those panthers are all 10 feet away from me and nobody else is?
Sure.
Okay.
You'd have to run around to the opposite side, but there's no reason it can't be done.
Okay. I'll do that. And then Vivi will hold her fists close to her chest like this, and a bunch more scarf hands will come out of the center, neck portion of her scarf, and she's going to cast Arms of Hadar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gross. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And they all need to make strength saving throws? Yeah, strength saving.
Great. What's the save DC?
13.
It doesn't matter. I rolled a 3, a 4, and a 20. So 2 pass, 1 fail. I mean, other way. 2 fail, 1 pass.
So on a failed save, the target takes 2d6 necrotic damage, and can't take reactions until its next turn. On a successful save, they take half damage.
Sure.
Oh, snake eyes. Okay.
Bummer.
So 2 necrotic damage for 2 of those boys, and 1 necrotic damage for one of those boys.
We will say the 2 that failed were the ones that were on Lady, so they will not be able to take reactions.
Don't get after my lady.
All right. After that, it's Theo.
Theo is going to point at the one that attacked Skrid, and he like starts mumbling incoherently, and this frost begins to form on the panther. It has to make a Constitution saving throw. I'm casting Frostbite as a cantrip.
4.
Oh, sweet. Okay, yeah, it fails.
Holy
so
moly.
it takes
That
2
never
cold
happens.
damage.
It's because I said my dice were hot, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll show you."
That's 2 cold damage, and it has disadvantage on its next attack roll.
All right, Skrid.
All right, so Skrid is very upset about the fact that a panther just jumped out of the woods at him. So he is going to pull out his great sword and make a swing at the creature. Good thing I did not leave it with the sprite. Well, that is a 9. So
That is a miss.
oops. I am going to, however, use my second wind to roll a d10 and then add 1 to it to gain. I rolled a 2, so I gain 3 health.
Oh boy.
Damn.
Oh boy.
Hey,
Not a
I
great
took
day.
5, so like it kind of evened out.
Yeah. All right, Lady.
I'll just look to have they all been damaged or just 2?
Yes, ma'am. They've all taken damage.
All right, I'll just reach out and touch the one nearest to me and cast Animal Friendship on it.
Oh.
Hello, friend.
Lady, you're too pure. Too good for this.
What's the save DC?
12. Wisdom.
4 or greater? Nope. Okay, so save DC 12, and I rolled another 4.
So he's my friend now for 24
Yes.
hours. I'll say,
Yes.
it's okay. We're all friends here. As
And
I
the
back
soothing
away.
voice. That's how you get them. All right, so now the Panthers are going to take their turn. Okay? The one over by Skrid, still going to do Panther things and try to slash at you with its claws. And rolled a 23.
That'll
Did it
hit.
have the
All
disadvantage?
right, take 4.
Does it have the disadvantage?
Oh, that one does have
yes,
disadvantage.
from the frostbite.
I rolled another 23.
Oh, that's some bullshit.
Oh no.
Okay,
Oh,
so
no.
4 points. 4 points.
4 damage.
Okay.
The other Panther is going to juxtapose itself in between Lady and the last of the Panthers. And you see it kind of lunges and it like tackles into the last of the Panthers. And it's not biting it, trying to hurt its friend. It's more like it's trying to grab it by the nape of its neck and pull it away. So it's your friend. So let me roll a contested grapple. Okay, well, the not friendly Panther is much too wily for this nonsense. And it dodges out of the way and lunges at Lady. And it tries to bite at you. Unfortunately, it wraps its teeth around the armored section of your body, and you are unharmed.
Yeah.
After that, it is Vivian's turn.
Okay. I'm still within 10 feet of it. I have Spell Sniper, which allows me to cast Booming Blade at 10 feet. My scarf is being reflavored as a whip. I attack with Booming Blade.
Absolutely.
That.
Never thought
16?
about using spell sniper that way.
16's a hit.
All right. What is with me and rolling ones on damage dice? Okay, so that's going to be a 4 piercing damage, or is it slashing? what kind of damage is it?
Oh.
Slashing.
Okay.
4 slashing damage, and if it moves,
Oh, yeah.
before the end or before the beginning of my next turn, then it will take additional damage.
Okie dokie. Theo.
Theo is going to attempt his other cantrip, which is also a con save. Let's go. Infestation.
Ooh,
This is not
7.
a good one for Viv.
Viv don't
as
like that.
a swarm of insects kind of pours in and out from the cracks of Theo's clothes and swarms the panther.
All right.
Yep, con save.
Are those always?
Roll the 7.
Okay.
It's just not even gonna answer that one. Save that for Nights in the
takes-
Courtyard.
1 poison damage, because I'm also rolling very badly on my damage dice.
What is up?
And it moves,
It moves
a
in a random direction.
It moves 5 feet to the north, apparently.
Cool.
It's trying to get to Jenny Greenteeth.
All right.
All right. Scrid, you are up next.
All right. So there's this dick in front of me. He's been trying to bite at me. Been a real jerk. So greatsword. I am going to try and attack him, but I'm going to be trying to do subdual damage, because this is the Panther's force, and I don't want to kill it. I just want it to not be doing. I mean, I rolled an 8, so really.
Is that with mods or no?
Yeah, that is with mods.
Well,
Well,
it certainly will not kill it.
No.
no, it's not gonna hit.
It turns
All
out
right.
I am afraid of big cats.
Oh no, it's the forest where we face our fears.
Lady.
Lady will just pat her friend and go over to Scrid and say, there, as I heal him.
You know, I could hit them if I wanted to.
Healing word. You get 6 points of healing back.
Oh, I'm at full. Excellent.
Wow.
And then I'll take out my my mace and just whack the panther in front of him.
All right.
There.
Make your attack.
Alright. And you so makes not 20.
Nice.
Serious? You don't even have to roll. Because what's your strength mod? 2?
+1.
No, you don't even have to roll. Because unless you get a 1 on every die, it's still dead. So yep, that's a first panther is dead? Question mark? I didn't hear her say she was trying to be non-lethal.
It's okay.
She's like, I love the force. Die, creature!
As nature intended.
As nature intended.
True.
As nature intended. I'll move away back over to my animal friend. Hello.
All right.
pal.
Panthers will take their turn. Friend Panther trying to succeeds in stopping the other one from advancing. As the charmed panther with a TH bites at the first, it is severely wounded. And you can see that instead of trying to pursue this combat and trying to fight, it is going to turn tail and run.
Yay.
So mechanically taking the disengage action, running for its life, leaving the only panther remaining, the one that is currently charmed.
Yay.
And that'll end combat.
I pet the charmed panther. Hello, friend.
What?
That all went surprisingly well.
No.
What the fuck? What was this?
We did it.
Did we? Did we? Okay.
Maybe falls over.
I just
This
scrunch.
takes a lot out of her.
I will shoulder carry you.
I'm feeling fine.
You did very well. I'm very proud of all of you.
Yay!
All right.
That might be nice for you, Theo, but I'm a warlock and I need short rests.
Oh, I just used cantrips.
We can take a short rest if you all need it. It's good to rest up.
Maybe
He's already asleep.
while we do this short rest business, maybe, do you think your new friend, would be able to take us to Jenny?
Oh, I'll just scrunch this panther's face. Can you take us to Jenny? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You're such a good little panther. I can't speak to it. I've used all my spell slots. I'm sorry.
Well, it seems to be, pretty on board with all of this. So, here's hoping for the best. Just be good neighbors.
So, we'll say that you guys can take your short rest, and then I know we got 15 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
Wrap it up? Okay, so you take a short rest. You start walking along the path that the panther is now leading you on towards Jenny Greenteeth's. And as you round a bend in the path, you come upon a very large clearing, and the ever-present canopy is open. And for the first time in what seems like forever, you see sunlight. There is a small cottage of neatly stacked logs with a tidy little roof of arranged shingles in the center of the clearing, grown over with moss on the far side of the glade. There's an open cook pit in the center of the clearing, over which is a large pot hanging from a tripod of iron rods, bubbling and sending the most delicious-smelling steam into the air. The warmth and the light of the fire warms you to the bones and banishes the forest's oppressive gloom.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not so bad.
this is nice.
This is actually
Our
the
home
best
is
part of this
very
forest.
pretty.
Mr. Greenteeth, is there a Jenny Greenteeth inside?
The door to the cottage opens, and a rather surprised-looking elderly woman stands in the doorway. My goodness! You've given me quite a start, dearie,
Oh,
the
this-
kind-faced
that's
woman
not-
exclaims, clutching at the front of her apron. We certainly don't get many visitors around these parts very often. Please come forward. Sit by the fire.
It seems like something a good neighbor would do. I look at my party and just, I am a good neighbor. And he will walk forward and say, we came here because we heard that people were going missing. Possibly.
Oh no, that is so troubling.
It's very bad. Do you mind if I take a seat right here? Motions.
Yes, please, sit. Oh, you must be famished from your journey. Let me get you some stew. And she goes to fetch some wooden bowls and starts ladling out this very delicious smelling into the bowls. And she's thrusting them towards each of you.
I will take it.
I'll take the bowl. Can Jarvis have some too? Because he's quite hungry. He was eating a dead body, and that's not healthy for a panther.
Well, I mean, it kind of is, but I mean, I don't see any reason he could not. And she puts a little bowl down on the ground for the panther.
So we were told that there have been disappearances, some bad people on the outskirts of town. There was a man whose name was Halvin Grangle. He was a bad man.
No. We can talk business in a moment. Please, just...
Oh, do you want to play like Yahtzee or something? I have dice.
No.
Vivi's like holding a spoon up to her mouth, and she's like, you know, I was about to, but then you said it like that.
I mean, it's just good manners.
Can I make an insight check on this?
On what exactly?
On is she trying to poison us? Does she legitimately want us to, like, is she legitimately offering us good food, or is she trying to, like,
Is this a trick?
is this a trick?
Is this a trick?
I roll insight on
All right, go ahead. Insight away.
All right. It's a 15.
All right. You get the impression that she is just there's no malice here. It's not poison, certainly. She's certainly trying to be hospitable, is the impression you get.
Yeah, Theo starts slurping up the stew.
Just another good neighbor.
Yes, good neighbor. Yes, it is a good thing you say that, my friend Scrid. Not enough people are neighborly in this day and age.
Wait, hold up. I don't think we ever told you our names.
Oh, pish posh. I know a great many things.
You are a very wise hag.
Hag.
Oh, shit.
Why would you call me this?
Is not your nature?
What would you prefer to be called? We're respectful
By
neighbors.
my name. I am Jenny. Maybe you are a hag.
It's quite possible I'm a hag. Yes.
I don't think that's very good-natured of you to come in here. You know the word hag implies someone who is old and crotchety. Do I appear old and crotchety to you?
Certainly not. You seem young and spry for your age.
Well, thank you. I do much try.
Your flowers are very pretty.
And his food, I mean, wow, absolutely delicious. Really,
It's just like talking to Nan.
This is like a triple threat right here. You guys seeing this? She's got the looks, she's got the talent for the cooking. This house is so...
as you guys are eating your stew, she stands up abruptly. Oh, I have pudding too. Would you like some dessert? Let me fetch you some pudding. And she starts to shuffle towards the front door of the cabin.
I have to finish everything.
And when she opens the front door of the cabin, you clearly see it's a metal cage, like a bird cage, right? It's domed at the top. There's a big iron door. And inside of it is a human man. It's been stripped of all of his clothes except for like his undergarments. And as she opens the door, he kind of reaches out, and then she closes the door again and starts shuffling back towards you. Okay, here is the pudding. Who would like some? Are you hungry, miss?
I do.
Could I actually have seconds of the soup?
I
Really
put
good.
the soup down. I haven't eaten it. I'm just like, I'm fasting for festival. Forgive me.
Eat.
I can't break my tendons. I'm sorry.
Pizza.
It is rude to not take what is offered.
I will take hers.
Oh, you are so kind, sir.
Like I said, I wanted seconds of soup anyways, and you're not eating yours.
Good to eat my proportion, but I must fast to honor my goddess.
All right. So you take Lady's bowl and start chowing down. You get about halfway through, and Jenny starts kind of steepling her fingers. So, why have you really come?
Well, do you mind? I've got this one, I think. So we're here. The state sent us here, and then we got that farm, and now, like a good neighbor.
God damn it!
Stage
I know
farm
this saying.
is here.
It is very wisdom spread all throughout the coast. Yes.
This podcast is not sponsored by State Farm Insurance, but State Farm. If you guys are interested in sponsoring, we can get into talks.
Adventure. We're not affiliated with or sponsored
by State Farm Insurance.
Sorry, Squid, you were going to say something serious.
That's like the theory, right? If you want to get them good YouTube ads, you have to talk about like fancy stuff like real estate. Yeah. Are you shopping for a home? Like, see, look,
it's free real estate.
So what we came
immersion.
what we came here for was there were people in the town, and they were sent out looking for a guy, and then those people, and the guy that they were looking for, we found out he was not a very good guy. He was not a very stand-up individual. We are more at this point interested in fixing the problem between you and the people of Cable's Hill. If we can repair that in any way, shape, or form, we got the message while we were in town with the bone about out to here, and we have the rocks if you want them back.
That is not necessary. Yes, I am quite aware. Halvin came to visit me a couple 10 days ago. Hadn't the foggiest notion what he'd want with dear old me. But he was very rude and unappreciative. So I've killed him. He's actually been quite... I've quite enjoyed having him around after that.
He looks to the soup. Yep.
It's the first time anyone's looked at the soup. And Scrid, who is still about halfway through his current bowl, see a distinct human toe floating in the soup.
Oh no!
I'm so glad I refused it.
Scrid's gonna think about it. Just gonna keep going.
Humans eat the cow all the time. Why would the cow not eat the human?
It's the cycle of life.
As nature intended.
I'm so glad I'm raising two cannibals and a cannibal cow.
So, what would you ask of old Jenny now?
To fix the pact.
Well, the pact had been violated. Not once, not twice, 3 times. First Halvin, then those fools at Carbon's Hill send a party into my forest. And now you 4 are here in front of me again. I currently see no reason to reinstate my pact with them.
We weren't citizens of the town. We did not break the oath.
Yes, you did. You are most presumptuous to think that just because you do not hail from their shitty little town that you are above the pact that was set ages ago.
So Scrid, we definitely said that we're moving there. So I think we called them neighbors. We basically all but claimed that farm. I think we can call ourselves.
We did all but claim the farm. What about?
We do live there now.
What about? So we do plan on living there. We basically claim the farm, but the farm has the entrance into the woods that gets to here. So we could be your neighbors, maybe post up there and prevent any other people from further breaking this contract. We would be
That
guardians.
is a compelling argument. I will hear more. The bull has made his argument. What of you?
We can bring fresh produce to you to add to your soup.
No! Once,
Alright.
if I allow you to leave, you shall never return.
We could leave it on the edge of the forest.
You
for
have
you.
had your opportunity to speak.
Alright.
What about you, boy? And she points to Theo.
This is a lot of pressure.
Well, quit stammering and spit something out.
Okay. We know a lot of cool magic, and some of us are kind of creepy, and we could scare people away, as well as being militant. Scrid is very strong and could fight people off, but we're also just kind of spooky sometimes. That we can just be there and people be scared of us.
Yes, I like where this goes. And you, what would you say?
Oh, some of us are scary, and dang it!
Sorry, I know it's an obvious one.
Oh, you took mine. Oh.
Do you have anything else to add? Anything productive, miss?
Scriv can give you a kiss.
Scrid, yes?
I can.
No. You.
You're pointing at Theo, aren't you?
Who are you pointing? Are you pointing at Theo?
I don't know. Are we all in the same position here? No. You misunderstand. And she points again, but this time she makes a sweeping motion. All of you. If I accept this agreement, then we will seal our deal with our keys. And you will carry my mark with you through all your days. You will act as my champion, who will dissuade people from entering the glimmering forest. And if you ever abandon your duties, then you will be cursed, and you will die.
This is a lot.
That sounds fair.
No, but like, think about it. Like, she looks like she has a lot of experience. This is a once-in-a-lifetime kiss that she's offering.
If you want to date her, Scrid, we could probably, meet at the edge of the forest and,
Look, I am down. Are you asking for all of us to kiss you, or do you want to see all of us kiss what is...
Simultaneously!
Like, on the cheek? I don't know how we are going to do this.
Oh boy. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I do have, like, other things going on in my life. I don't know if I'm ready to just settle down at the edge of the forest. And
if you would prefer, I will also accept a lock of your hair as a symbol of your oath to me.
I don't think the kiss part was the part that you had a problem with.
I mean, the lock of hair part is the part that I now have a problem with. I don't really have a whole lot of that to give.
I mean, we're all okay with kissing each other. It's fine, but the hair's a bit personal.
I'm sorry, Theo. I want to hear your argument again.
oh yeah, I don't know if I want to live next to the forest.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Start again.
Are you trying to get me to say I don't want to live? I don't understand.
Well, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying that there's a fundamental problem with the thing that you're saying.
He's alive.
I don't want to live next to the forest.
Well, here is your problem, young man. You can either accept my pact, and I will once again give my protection to the surrounding villages, and you can leave to serve me until you die.
Leave.
Or you can die now, and I will add you to tomorrow's stew.
What?
Oh my god, there's so many good deals here.
Are you good? Wait. Theo's finally looking at the ball. Like, wait. Oh boy.
Oh yes, you two are cannibals now.
I did not eat another Minotaur.
Well,
what about
Minotaur adjacent? Because you did eat Pip Yaps.
That's true.
I ate something bovine.
You've eaten human and you've eaten cow. You've basically eaten Minotaur.
Look.
What about,
this is not an ethics debate. This is.
What about the people you already have captured?
They are mine to keep.
Even if we agree to protect the forest.
Fine. I will consider it. And at this point, why don't everybody make a persuasion check? This is a group check. We just need the majority of the group to pass in order to convince her to release the hostages. That's a 20.
Yes, it
All
is a
right.
natural 20. I am down to both smooch or leave, really. I'm
I was
seeing a
thinking
lot
to
of
myself,
positives.
Oh, I always take persuasion. Just this once. Let's just not take persuasion this time.
It's only a 9 for me.
9,
7.
20, 7,
11.
11. Okay, so she looks around to the group. No! You may leave once our pact is fulfilled, but they will stay. Their lives have been forfeit.
Everybody already thinks they're dead. There's really no downside to this.
As nature intended. Okay.
As nature intended.
It's what good
That's right,
neighbors
that's
would
really
do.
me.
I don't really feel comfortable with just leaving these guys to be stew, especially when they were just going in here to help. I mean, they didn't know he was bad.
All right, how about this? How about this, Jenny? You free them. You let all of you. I will seal this pact with you. You've put it into my mind now. I would like to be guardian of the forest. That sounds. I have a labyrinthine memory. I am able to track wherever I am going. But maybe if you caused everyone else to forget they were ever here, then nobody is none the wiser that they've ever gone back on any pacts. And then I would know, and I would be able to be big and scary and be a heavy weapons guy.
God damn!
And he gladly reaches out, and he's gonna put one hand behind Jenny's back and pull her into a smooch.
Yep. And with that, as she plants the kiss on your cheek, your fur turns black. And as he stands in front of you, you can see any cheerful disposition he used to have begin to melt away as he becomes malicious and malevolent.
Oh boy.
Scrid doesn't exist anymore as he did. Now he is solely Jenny's champion, protector of the forest.
I am Draghorn!
I came here to have fun!
First you fill my pack with bugs and then you're making fun of me.
At the last second, you slid under the door, and you're all like, sacrifice myself!
I just wanted smoochies.
I did not know this would happen. I just wanted to smooch.
Scrid is dead now? More like an immortal force of malevolence.
Yeah, now he'll never die.
I protect these woods.
with her new champion, she goes around to the rest of you, seemingly tired now and wanting to be done of the whole affair. She gives up entirely on sealing the pact, instead forcing you all into it. She walks up and she just raises one gnarled finger and she just pokes you in the shoulder.
Ow.
And then as she does, it stings even through your armor. And then after she pokes each one of you, she turns around and she grabs Draghorn's hand and they disappear into the cabin. A moment later, the few remaining prisoners come running out, and it's almost like the forest parts and you find a clear path out.
Okay. Bye, Scrid.
All right.
I feel kind of sad about this. When will the forgetfulness roll in? I want to forget.
I'll bring my panther friend with me. That's okay. We're all friends here.
Do we actually forget about this? Is this something that's going to affect us, or does it
No,
affect...
that was just something he made up.
Oh,
We
God.
will remember this always.
Oh boy. Does the poke, like, I guess it just hurts?
No, we still have to guard
That night when you doff your armor to take your rest, you find that there is a mole growing in the spot where Jenny poked you.
I've got to get that checked out.
It's probably malignant.
Sounds funny.
But that's it.
Why?
The-
Theo, we have to talk. Yes or no? Are you actually alive or dead?
Me?
Theo.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, Theo, Theo's a shadow sorcerer. Theo doesn't know Theo's deal.
But what does Theo think?
Theo, so do we want to delve into backstory right now?
We
Is
can
that
do
what-
that in our after
No,
show,
like, this is
Nights
an
in the Courtyard.
in-character-
Oh.
Yeah,
But
after
this is
show.
an in-character interaction.
Oh, it is like, wait, so what the fuck is up with you?
Yes.
I think that would probably be a good point to bring up the title card as you guys start having that conversation.
No. That's the worst place to put the title card.
All right. So, I would like to say thank you, Daddy Warbucks, for running this game.
Yes.
I am an immortal forest guardian.
I'm just glad you guys had fun.
Oh man,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is an absolute
yeah.
blast. Thank you so much.
So good.
That was a lot of fun.
All right, Daddy, where can we find you? What do you do?
You can find me on all the things as Daddy Warbucks, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. We play Dungeons and Dragons literally every day of the week. We actually do a lot of Adventures League, which is the public style play for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. And you guys actually just played a Adventure League module. This is Tales, Trees, Tell from Tyranny of Dragons. And you can actually take that character that you made, except for you because you're an immortal dead guy now. You can actually take that character you made to any Adventure League setting and hop in and play and continue that journey if you wanted to. It's the beauty of the Adventures League. But yeah, we do that every day of the week, and it's a whole lot of fun.
All right, awesome.
That's awesome.
I'm guessing that's twitch.tv/Daddy Warbucks as well?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, Dan, where can we find you? What do you do?
You can find me at Dan Streams Games on Twitter and here on Twitch. I don't really stream much, but maybe soon if my schedule opens up. And you can also find me at castingcall.club at Dan Streams for any voice acting needs.
Excellent. And I believe you're also in the Encounter roleplay game for Star Wars on Sunday, right?
Yeah. Sundays, it's 11 Pacific Standard Time. I'm not sure what it is. Eastern, I guess. Math. 2, 3, something like that. We're doing Star Wars Fortitude, which is a Star Wars Edge of the Empire actual play game streaming on Twitch. That's every Sunday. You can find me playing a Verpine gadgeteer by the name of Bean. So if you liked Theo's weird hijinks, Bean is another quirky, weird character I play.
Excellent. Thank you. And Jen, where can we find you? What do you do?
You can find me over at Twitter at LaughmakerDND. I also play over at the RPG Lads Wednesdays, and every other Thursday I DM. Sundays I'm over at SS Adventurer. And this coming Saturday I'm doing a Women in Gaming event over at the Red Knight Inn.
Awesome. And Danae, where can we find you? What do you do?
I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and stuff on this channel. I also play Coriander the Eldrin Paladin on Monday, and I run Curse of Strahd on Tuesdays right here on this channel. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com.
Yes. And if you have made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you haven't, hello. It's me, your buddy, your pal, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Monday, we do a homebrew campaign. Tuesdays is Curse of Strahd. Wednesdays is our one-shot Wednesdays, where we let members of the community and other people that we know who play games join us on this. This is how we got Daddy Warbucks. This is how we got Dan. This is how we got Jen.
I love doing one-shot Wednesdays because it allows me to have a character who, for a one-shot, is now an eternal, immortal, weird minotaur creature guarding a forest. It's badass. I enjoy it. And Thursdays, you can check us out for our Ghosts of Saltmarsh game. We are only in our 3rd episode so far, but we have an incredible crew. It's been a absolute blast of a journey, including sea shanties in the style of Creed, which was a day. That was a sea shanty. But we also have a Patreon set up as well as a Discord. So if you are interested in joining our Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/indooradventures, where you can check out our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So community, if you have any questions that you would like to give to us, you can join our Discord or post them in the chat. I read our games chat as it goes by. So whenever you have a question, feel free to shoot it our way. But with that, I would like to say once more, Daddy, thank you for running this game. This is great. I had an absolute blast. All of these characters are super fun. And I can't wait to be able to play with all of you guys again. Now, we will see you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.